rejoin again. Baddie, custom baddie, and with the help of standard baddie, how can we generate a report? So those already we have seen the previous class, but I want to mention two things. So let me open it first. What's happening? Because of an error in data encryption, this session will end. One second, let me join again. So this is our previous program. What's happening? Anyone is facing this issue? Could you please check once and confirm?
No, Sneha.
You're not getting this issue, right?
No, Sneha.
Soumya, can you share your credentials? I couldn't able to do in the server.
Okay, Sneha.
Do once again. Let's see whether it will disconnect or not. Okay, so this is the program which is used to delete or remove BP roles based on the business partner. So in this code, like I have written, if there is an error, it will raise an error message along with the BP role and business partner. And if it is successfully deleted, we will display message like it is successfully removed. So in real time, whenever we use PAPI, always remember, suppose if you are deleting something or if you are updating something, we use two queries, SQL queries, that is commit and rollback. So commit work. So we call it as a commit work. So commit work is nothing but whenever we do any changes, suppose you are deleting or you are inserting, you are updating. So any crude operations, if you want to save permanently in the database, then we use this keyword commit work. So once you use this keyword, it will do the changes in the database. So in real time, we have to use it. Suppose here I'm deleting, right? So if I'm deleting successfully, it should delete from the database table. So generally we use these two words in BAPI. Like whenever we are using BAPI in our report program, we must use commit and rollback. So commit is nothing but, suppose if you are creating something or deleting something, updating something or changing something, if you want to save those changes permanently in the database, we have to commit. So commit is nothing but the changes whatever we did, that will be saved in the database permanently. Otherwise, even if you check in the table, it will be sit there itself because we haven't committed. Whenever we use BAPI, we must use commit and rollback. So the other one is rollback. Rollback in the sense, it will undo our changes. Suppose there is an error, it should not be saved in the database. So what we have to do, whatever we did the steps, that must be undo it. So for that purpose, we have to use this keyword rollback. So rollback in the sense, it will cancel all our changes we made in the program. If something like we get an error, it must not be saved in the database. So we have to cancel it everything, whatever we did from the beginning. So that work will be done by this rollback. So if you want to save the changes in the database permanently, we use commit. If you want to undo the changes, then we use rollback. So these two mainly we use. So here there is a word LUW. So if you see, let me show you here. So here, if you see the definition, commit work tells the database to make all the changes permanent that we made during the current logic unit of work. So current logic unit of work, like logic unit of work is a short form of LUW, meaning whatever we do, like creating, changing, deleting, or updating, these are comes under single or logical unit of work. Suppose if you are written the logic to delete something, that is nothing but LUW. Suppose if you're updating something, that is comes under LUW. So the logic unit of work, if you do any changes like creating, changing, updating, deleting, those are comes under LUW. So if you want to save those changes, then we use commit. If you want to undo those changes, then we use rollback. So most of the scenarios, if you see, like if you enter into any project, definitely they will use these two words, commit work and rollback. So we have to use this one in our program also. So here, suppose there is an error here. If LV error is equal to abap true, abap true is nothing but like we get an error, right? So at that time, what we are doing, we are writing this message. So this message can be write with the help of write statement, or else you can use concatenate also. So before displaying this error message, what I'll do, I will undo the changes. So because here we are getting error, some scenarios like we might get a chance of error. So at that time, whatever we did these steps, this must be undo. So for that, we have a BAPI. So whenever we use BAPI, we have two BAPIs to save the changes permanently in the database and to undo the changes. So let me show you that. Did I use that one? So BAPI transaction commit. So this BAPI will undo all the changes. If it is a simple program, it is like a simple report program. When we don't use BAPI, then we have to use directly the keyword commit work and rollback. But here we are using BAPI.
Neha, your voice is not audible.
So at that time, we can use directly the keywords rollback. Let me enter it. So here we no need to write any importing, exporting parameters. So I'm not writing it. Just it should undo the changes whatever we did. So I'm not passing any parameter here. Okay. So directly I call this BAPI. Suppose if we get any error, it will do the rollback. So after doing the rollback, it will display this message. And the same way, else part. Else, if it is successfully deleted, I want to save the changes in the database, because once it is deleted, it will delete on the application layer only. Whenever I use BAPI, suppose if I'm deleting or I'm saving something, that will do on the application layer only. But we want to do these changes in the database layer, right? So for that, we have a BAPI that transaction commit. So this BAPI will save all our changes into the database. If I call, and here we can uncomment this one parameter, exporting. So here we have to pass capital X. Capital X is nothing but true. So here we need to call this BAPI, and we have to we are calling this BAPI. This BAPI will do all the changes what we did. It will save in the database. So for that it will take some time. So we have to give the value weight is equal to capital X. So once we execute here, after some time, it will be saved in the database. So it will wait some time, then it will be saved the changes in the database. So generally we will pass this parameter value, weight is equal to capital X. Let me remove this one. This is not actually importing. So I'll put dot here itself. So in this program, I have used BAPI. So for BAPI, if you want to undo the changes, we have a specific standard BAPI. Suppose if you want to save the changes in the database, we have a standard BAPI, this one. But whenever we are not involving in the program BAPI, then directly we have to use a keyword. Imagine that this is a report program where I haven't used BAPI. So if you want to save the changes in the database, then we use commit work. This single keyword. Suppose if you want to change, then we have to use, or if you want to undo the changes, we use a keyword rollback work. So these are the two things you have to know. Let me activate it. So this is the part of BAPI. Now let's move on to the next concept. What's happening? So our next concept is enhancement. So this is our next topic, new topic, enhancement. So enhancement is nothing but when we have a standard program. Suppose SAP is a product, right? So it is a ERP software. It is nothing but ERP product. Whenever SAP has created, they have designed in a generic way, meaning it is not specific to any business. Like it is not specific to any business like mobile or car or any other business like. So it has designed in a generic way. So whenever like we have a standard programs, standard data elements are there, standard screens are there. But whenever we want to change the standard program, then that concept we call it as an enhancement. So whenever we add custom functionality to the standard application without modifying the original code, so that we call it as an enhancement. Enhancement is nothing but we are enhancing the functionality without disturbing the original code which has designed by the SAP. So we have we have various transactions. Suppose if you want to create a program, we use a transaction code SC38. Suppose if you want to create a package, we use SC21 or SC80. So similar way for functional, like whenever they want to create, like whenever business want to create, we have a sales order. If they want to create a sales order, we have a transaction code VA01, right? So in that standard transaction, suppose if they want some additional functionality, so those transaction codes are designed by SAP. Suppose if I go to VA01, so this is VA01 transaction code to create sales document. So once they create in this sales in this transaction code, that sales orders will be created in VBAK table. In the programs, we always use these. Most of the times, we have used this table, VBAK and VBAP table. In VBAK table, there is a field for sales document, right? So this is a master table to hold the sales documents. So how this data will be stored? Whenever a functional or business, so if the business wants to create a sales order, they will go to VA01 transaction code and they will enter the required data. So once they will enter, those data will be saved in VBA table. Okay, suppose whenever they are entering the data, suppose they want to see some additional functionality in this standard transaction code. So at that time, we have to modify the logic. But this transaction code is not created by us, VA01 transaction code. It is created by SAP because it is started with V. So whenever we have these type of scenarios, these whenever we want to extend some functionality in the standard program or standard transaction code, those are comes under enhancement. So enhancement is nothing but to add custom functionality to the standard application without modifying the original code. Those things we call it as an enhancement. we should not disturb the original code. Otherwise, everything will be disturbed. Whatever the standard functionality is there, that will be disturbed. So without modifying the original code, we can develop or we can implement the custom functionality. So that space we call it as the enhancement. So whenever any product, any ERP product, not only SAP, any other ERP products, so when they have created, they will give some namespace to the custom functionality. Because in some standard functionality, like user need some other extra functionality in the standard programs or standard application. So we need to implement it, right? So to implement those things, we need a space. We need a particular place, like to add our logic, we need a place, right? So that place we call it as an enhancement here. So enhancement is a place where we can add our custom functionality in the standard application. So that place we call it as an enhancement. So we have various types of enhancements. So these are the types of enhancements, like user exit, customer exit, baddie, enhancement framework. So today I'll explain this user exit. So user exit, leave about this first time. I'll let you know later. So user exit is one of the enhancement, and this enhancement mainly we used for SD module. It is not applicable for any other modules. These user exit are uh, applicable only for SD module. So SD module in the sense sales and distribution module. Because see, whenever SAP has started in the initial stage, they might not be added most of the modules. Like now 40 plus modules are available in SAP. But when they have started, like they have started around 900 minimal module. So this user exit is mainly applicable only for SD module. Suppose if user want to see some additional functionality in the VA01 transaction code, then I can use user exit. But before that, I need to check whether we have the access for that additional functionality or not. Okay, but yes, SD module we can able to do with the help of user exit. But suppose if user want to if user want to see an additional functionality at the time of bank details creation, no, we cannot do, because that is not comes under SD module. So user exit is only place to uh, add additional functionality for SD module only. Because whenever they started implemented, whenever they have started SAP, they started with the minimal of the modules, and this user exit is only designed for SD module. So if you want to add any additional functionality in SD module, then we can also use user exit. But other than SD module, we cannot use user exit, like MM module, FICO module, or we have warehouse management, that cannot be applicable. VIM, finance. So those are not applicable for user exit. And so this part I'll show you. We need access key. Okay. So user exits are available in the form of subroutine, meaning suppose, mm, let me go to system. So this is VA01 transaction code. Whenever user want to create a sales document, they will go to VA01 transaction code. Even as a developer, we should know what are the transaction code to create the sales order, even for material, those. So I'll let you know the MM process flow and SD process flow later on. Meanwhile, you can remember VA01 is to create a sales document. Let me go to status. I think my server is today low. That is low. So this is a program. So every transaction code, whenever SAP has created, so it has a program. Even if you remember, whenever we have used module pool programming, every program has a transaction code. How do we execute module pool programming? We will go to SE38 or we'll use SE80 transaction code. Once we create the screen and once we write the logic, we used to create a transaction code, right? Similar way, whenever SAP has created transaction codes or screens, even they also written the program. So if you want to see the program name, this is the right way to go. System, from the menu bar, click on status, and from here onwards you can find the program name. See, this is the program name, and this is the transaction code, VA01 transaction code, and this is the screen number. Suppose if I double click on the program name, it will navigate to the program. So SAP MV45A. Yeah, what is this? Okay, so when I double click on the program, so you can see it's a module pool, and here you can find a name called user exits. So these all like whatever the includes are there. Soumya, could you please send the credentials? It's disturbing.
I have already shared in WhatsApp.
Oh, okay, thank you. I will. One second, let me log in and I'll share my screen. Authenticator error.
It's behind.
Authenticator error is getting. Okay, got it. Okay, let me share my screen. So VA01. Where is stopped? Okay, here system. Again, I'm getting to the system also. Soumya did not get this error, right?
Yes,
It's happening to me only. Okay, let's see. So here I'll go to system status, and from here onwards, program. So if I double click on it, it should navigate to the program. Okay. Let me check with them. What is an issue? I couldn't understand. One second. Issue leave. 1 second. Let's wait some time. I just pinged her. Let me log in again. Meanwhile, let me connect it and let me show you again, because I think it will take some time to respond from their end. So let's see. So here, these are the includes which are belongs to user exit. So if you see, this is one include program. If I double click on it, okay, this include is empty. So let's go back and see the other include. Okay, this is for PBO. It won't be there anything. So let's see in this include. So I just want to show you how the user exits will be created in this program. This is also empty. Okay, let's see the other one. Here you can see this is one of the user exit. If you see, it was started with form user exit field to. This is a like KOM KD, like one thing is there, right? So this place where we can implement our logic. Suppose if I want to move any standard field related data, related thing I have. So I have to implement the logic, right? So that logic in this standard program, I can write within this form and end form. And if I scroll down, she stopped recording the session. It's disturbing a lot actually. Soumya, once check it from your end, your server.
Sure, Sneha.